rug. You ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man, I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine. I'm never second guessing, I just do what I was destined. Cause I feel I got the blessing, persistence and obsession. That's how you keep progressing, I already learned that lesson, yeah. I'm changing who I am, I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving, you can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life and I won't look back ever again. No fear, see clear, you deserve to be great. I know it feels like things get in your way. Push through those walls and the others will fall. Sit up, stand tall, you can get through it all. I need some energy, anxiety's no friend to me. I have a short memory, I don't really remember things. That's how I move on, that's how I stay strong. A new day's on, I'll keep moving right along. And I feel like the pain in the past, it needs to stay in the past. You gotta take off the cast. I wanna feel like I'm a new person. I wanna have clear vision and purpose. And I feel like the pain shouldn't last. If you can move on and past the things that make you feel bad, and you can change in your brain, I'm certain. I've done it before and man, I'm not perfect. I'm changing who I am, I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving, you can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life and I won't look back ever again.
Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the Sixers pregame show. I am joined by Nick and Sean Bernard from Pick Swaps Media. How you guys doing? It's game day or game night.
Not too good, Mitch.
Sean, how about yourself, bro? Sean?
He might be.
Yeah, I guess
there it
cutting
is.
in a little bit out on my end already. So hopefully battling through the tech issues. But overall, that's the state of the Sixers. So I guess nothing can be expected more than that at this point. I think my spirits are slightly higher than Nick, but obviously not feeling great.
Right,
rough,
right.
man. It's been rough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting for the starting lineup to be announced. I don't think they announced it yet. I don't think so. But let's get it started, dude. Nick, you said you had some questions for us? Let them rip.
Yeah, so you were talking about the starting lineup. That's actually one of my questions. This is for both of you. I have a few that are just for Sean and a few that are just for Mitch. I just figured Mitch asked me if I wanted to come on the show, and I was like, I got a couple questions I think I'm going to ask. Makes for some good conversation. So the first one is for both of you. So if you were Nick Nurse right now, what would be your starting five, and who's your four off the bench?
Oof.
Like a 9-man rotation.
This
is not counting. This is like with the guys that are active tonight. So no Maxey, no Embiid. They're sure somebody else is out.
Yeah.
As far as the starters, I'll jump in first. As far as the starters, I mean, the number one guy that I think I'm going to be banging the table for moving forward is Jared McCain. That right now is the opportunity where I just want to see exactly what he can do right now, what he can be to this team in the short term. And obviously that impacts how you long-term view him as well. To me, it makes like complete sense to just try him out as much as possible. So personally, I'd move Jared McCain into the starting lineup in place of Tyrese Maxey right now and just see what you got. As far as the rest of things, I do think that you're keeping with Kelly Oubre and Caleb Martin. I know Caleb Martin has been a brutal watch lately. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, but I still have a little sympathy too. I think he's been playing good basketball. He's just missing shots is really what it comes down to for me. He's competing hard, doing a lot of the right
better defenders.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought he's been really good on the defensive end. It's just he's not shooting well. He's shooting 20% from three, 38% from the field. It's not great there, but I think you ride with him. You paid the man. keep it that. So I'm going McCain, Oubre, Martin. I'm still keeping Drummond as the starting center, although my leash for Yabusele has gotten much longer. That I do think there's certain matchups, probably not tonight against the Lakers with Anthony Davis and the size that he brings, that I think it makes sense to do that. But there are matchups where I think Yabusele should be looked at as the more favorable big man. And I think I am, unfortunately, siding with Nick Nurse here, that I'm keeping Kyle Lowry in the starting lineup just to have a veteran presence, a true point guard, a guy that McCain can play off. So that would be my 5 is McCain, Lowry, Oubre, Martin, and Drummond.
Okay, Mitch?
All right, so for me, I'm keeping Lowry out. That is the first thing. I'm keeping Lowry out. I'm got to put Yabusele in, man, as the 4. I just really love what he's been bringing to the team.
Let me ask you a question.
Go for it.
Yeah. Do you think Yabusele and Drummond can play together? Like, do you think Drummond? Like, I think Yabusele is more of a 4, and I think they're trying to make him a 5. Like, what the hell do we have to lose, man? Like, we're 1-6. Like, give Bona a shot.
Yeah.
Give Ricky more minutes.
McCain.
Just McCain. Yeah. Just like
try.
What do we have to lose? We got all these young guys on the bench that. We're playing Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon 30 minutes a game. Like, what the hell is going on right now? Like, why are we only going 8 guys deep? Like, there's no rule that says, oh, you can only play, 8 guys in your rotation. Now, I understand in the playoffs, they normally only go 8 because your starters log more minutes. I get all that. But we're 8 games into the regular season? Like, throw these guys out there, man. Free the freaking blue coats at this point. Like, something needs to happen.
Yeah. I also, real quick, I realized I completely forgot Paul George in my starting lineup here. So I do have to bump Kyle Lowry out for Paul George. So we're going
forgot
big.
too, man. I just, he's honestly, I honestly forgot about him because it's like he's not even on the team because he's played 3 games for us?
2.
Yeah.
Tonight's game 3. Tonight will be the best game we've ever seen in of Paul George and Sixers jersey. I'm willing to guarantee that.
In a 20-point loss.
For me, man, I forgot about Paul George. I don't know how I could forget about this shot. He's going to be the number 1 option going forward for a little bit. Actually, Embiid is coming back on Tuesday, so disregard that. But
so they say. We'll see.
He will.
We'll see. But I think he will just because the NBA Cup. That's the first night of the NBA Cup. So against the Knicks, they're going to want Embiid out there. And the Knicks are going to bring it. So he's got to play that game. He just won't play against the Cavs the next night. And I'm like, here we start with the back-to-back.
So Yabusele, Mitch, would you ride with Jared McCain? I would assume you'd go with Jared McCain over Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, I got Jared McCain at the 1. Kelly Oubre at the 2. Paul George actually I might put Caleb Martin at the 3, and then Paul George at the 4, and then Drummond at the 5. So that's what I'm gonna be rocking with.
Where do you have Yabusele?
I forgot about Paul George.
So now you got Yabu back on the bench.
Yeah, I have to now.
I don't see why they can't play together.
I mean, you can if you want to. I always loved Caleb Martin off the bench. I always loved it. But now with the jump shot, it's just like, I don't know. So for me, I'm going to stick with Paul George at the 4.
Nabu's shooting the lights out right now.
Yeah, he's got to be consistent. What is he shooting? Like 30, almost 30%
Nearly 39%
right now?
from 3.
Pretty good.
Oh, wow. He's just got to keep that consistent. If he can keep that consistent and get all the boards, that's my 4. Until we get like a Dorian Finney-Smith from the trade deadline.
I do think.
And then bench, Sean?
Bench, I mean. Let me think.
You gotta have Reggie Jackson in there.
I probably don't have Reggie Jackson in there.
Why?
Dude, he's cooked, man. Nick, I hate to break it to you, man. I don't think he's got it. I think Reggie Jackson's best competent NBA seasons might be in the rear view here. That I'm not sure how much he's got left. As far as my bench overall, Yabusele, probably my 6th man there that didn't have him in my starting lineup. I do think you throw Ricky Council in the mix here, give him at least an opportunity to do some stuff. KJ Martin deserves to play. I guess Reggie Jackson makes the cut just for another guard there because I bumped Lowry out of the starting lineup. So Lowry's in that spot for me. You can try whatever for me right now. I'm absolutely giving Ricky a little run, absolutely giving KJ a run. I think KJ Martin's quietly been very good to start the season, so shout out to him there. For me, my biggest takeaway is run Jared McCain as much as you possibly can. Is basically my speech for now in the short term while Maxey's out.
Okay,
Yep. And
I know
as
you're a
for
Reggie Jackson guy, as am I.
I am, but honestly, I don't know if he has it right now. So for me, honestly, the bench is like, Sean, you had Eric Gordon, right? Or did you have him further
Did
down?
not mention him either. I would play Eric Gordon. To be honest, I'm going deeper than 9 right now, so I'm just trying stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to try stuff here.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we working with this bench right now? So I'm just trying to see what works. Like for me, I'll have Yabusele at the 6. I gotta put Kyle Lowry there. I gotta put him there. I want a 4 general. Then I got Ricky Council there. I got Bona in there. So I'm gonna go like 8-9 as well. So it's gotta, yeah. How about you, Nick?
I would go 12 deep, honestly. But,
yeah, why not?
Yeah,
go for
why
it.
the hell not, man? What the hell do we have to lose? So I would go. Yeah, I would go Jared McCain. And I mean, I said this when we did our stream about a month ago. I'm not a huge Jared McCain guy. I wasn't like over the moon when we drafted him, but he's actually impressed me a lot. And with the way that they're playing right now, something's got to change. So I would start Jared McCain. I would start Oubre at the 2 guard. I would start Paul George at the 3. Start Yabu at the 4. And I'd start Drummond at the 5. I think Caleb Martin running that second unit, maybe we get a little more offense out of him. I don't know, because right now him playing with the starters is not it. It's just not it. The shot looks maybe the worst it's ever looked. I don't remember him really having a hitch, or maybe at least it wasn't as noticeable.
Yeah, I won't lie. The other night I went back and watched, like, looking at kind of the form breakdowns. It's absolutely a hitch in it. Like, he's always had a weird stroke. Like, that leg kick thing is fairly normal for him. He's kind of always done that. But that way that it's just kind of, there's something different about it. The way that it's coming off his hands, they're all line drives that he's shooting. So it's difficult to get out of those things in the middle of a season. He just basically has to shoot through it and wait for it to turn around. And in fairness to him, to kind of stick up for him a little, like, he's been a streaky shooter throughout his entire career, even dating back to college, that he's a guy that will go on tears where he's shooting 60% from 3 for a couple games, and then he'll have his cold spells. So I want to view it off. If I want to view it optimistically, we can say this is a cold stretch and we're just seeing through it, but it does look like the form is different to me for sure.
Yeah, Bob, that's a very interesting question right now, dude. Do you think the Sixers will make the playoffs right now? I'm like, as of right now, I can't even think about the playoffs. I said no. Playing, like, I got to play in and no. Like,
before, when we did our stream a month ago, I'm pretty sure I had him as a 5 or 6 seed. I definitely said the Pacers, the Magic. I probably even said the Cavs, to be honest, because we already kind of knew Embiid was going to miss a lot of time. And I don't think when Embiid, say he does come back next Tuesday, right? I don't think all of a sudden he's going to play like 30 games straight. He'll maybe play like 3, miss 5, play another 2. Like, I don't think fans need to know that when Embiid's back, we're not all of a sudden going to have him for the rest of the season. Like, he's going to miss more games. It's going to happen. It happens every year.
Sure. But I mean, it still changes things so significantly every game that he does play. Like,
if we can win every game he does play, then yeah, you're right.
Like, there's a 0% chance they drop below the play-in, that they're going to be at a minimum a play-in team. I still think they end up a top 6 seed, to be perfectly honest, that there is a lot of basketball still left to be played. Like, when looking at the standings right now, like, the Brooklyn Nets are the 4th seed in the East. Like, that is not going to last. Like, there's a lot of ball. Yeah, but and who else? Like, are we hyping
Claxton?
up? Yeah, and that's it. And like, are either of those guys like starting caliber players on a true playoff team? I would say no to both of them there. Claxton, maybe I'll give you. Thomas can be a rotation guy. Him as a number 1 option is a team that is going to be in the lottery as the Nets will end up this season. So my point being with this is that, like, yes, teams are off to some crazy starts, but like the 3rd seed in the East right now is 4-4. Like, if the Sixers just win a stretch of games, all of a sudden they're climbing the standings. It's still super early to be calling this. It hasn't been pretty. It's a bad start. There's a lot of basketball stuff we played.
Yep.
And then as for my bench, I said my starters. I would definitely go with Reggie Jackson. I understand you guys are like, he's cooked. I get it. But it's really hard to tell, what does the guy have left in the tank when you throw him out there for 3 minutes? Like, you got to give him a little more run than that to see what he can do. It's hard to really make an impact in 3 minutes. And that's why I get so frustrated. Like Nick Nurse, throw Ricky Council out there, man. We throw him out there for 3 minutes. Like, how is he supposed to really make an imprint on the game in 3 minutes?
Yeah.
How can you make your presence felt in 3 minutes? I don't understand how that's even possible.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. I will note the first live possession that we ever saw Reggie Jackson in a Sixers uniform in the Sixers season, he dribbled it off his foot and it went backcourt there. That was tough. He did hit a 3 right after that, so I will give him his love as well. I want to be back in on the Reggie Jackson train. I've been a Reggie fan throughout his career, but I have not. And again, you're right. It is limited minutes. It's tough to fully judge, but I don't know if I fully see Reggie still having it. I hope I'm wrong.
I hope you're wrong too, man.
Yeah.
I'm a big Reggie Jackson guy, always was. I think in terms of really offense and defense, both sides of the ball, and I understand Kyle Lowry's been shooting the 3 well. I get it. But defensively, it's been a hard watch. As for Reggie Jackson, we shall see, man. I think he'll definitely get some run tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should. He should. But
next question here.
Go for it.
Or did I say my 4 on the bench? I said Reggie.
Yeah.
My other guys, Ricky.
Yeah.
Honestly, Justin Edwards. Why not? Honestly, why not? And Bona. Why not? Play Yabu at the 4. Let Bona be the backup 5. What the hell do we have to lose? Mitch, this is a question just for you.
Go for it.
If there's one player from last year's roster you feel that the Sixers are really missing right now, who is it? I think I know the answer, but just from watching the streams, but I'm going to ask
I got a couple in mind, but it's got to be Buddy Hield. I'm going with Buddy Hield right now, dude.
You were going to say Cameron Payne.
I'm going with Buddy Hield. I've always been a fan of Buddy Hield. Who?
I thought you said Tobias Harris.
Don't even get me started. But I think it's got to be Buddy Hield. Look what he's shooting right now with Golden State. He was always a guy. In the last game he played for us, he was on fire until Nick Nurse benched him. So I'm like, give me Buddy Hield. We need a shooting. I was going to go with DeAnthony Melton, but then he's kind of injury prone, so that's why I kind of left that one to the side. I'm going to go with Buddy Hield.
All right. Sean, here's a question for you. Since we're playing the Lakers tonight, I know you've been a pretty anti-LeBron guy your whole life.
True.
But talking about the GOAT conversation, do you think LeBron playing as well as he's been these past, 3-4 years, do you think that helps his case, defying Father Time?
Yeah, it definitely helps his case, and it is pretty absurd that he's still playing at this level at this age. There's no argument in my mind as far as the most impressive body of work in the NBA. It is LeBron James, that he's been doing it for this period of time. The pushback or the real debate is like that peak of Jordan in which nobody could touch him on a basketball floor. I still think there's a case to be made that LeBron never touched quite that peak. But when you talk about the body of work, like, there is nobody that's going to touch these ever again. This is incredibly special for what he's doing. So I have softened my stance on my anti-LeBron stuff in his later years for sure.
I also think the Lakers have managed, maybe this is just my opinion, but I actually think they've managed the Bronny situation pretty well for the most part. I mean, I think they're doing the right thing. LeBron has to know in the back of his mind, Bronny is not NBA ready. He needs more experience, more playing time, and he's not going to get that on the Lakers. So I hope he does well tomorrow in South Bay. I think he'll still be like up and down. I think there will be games where they'll pull him up, especially if they play like Cleveland again, because all those Cleveland fans want to see him play. But overall, I actually think the Lakers are doing a good job with the whole Bronny situation, and everybody seems to like him for the most part. Like, they say he works hard, he's in the gym, he doesn't complain. Seems like a good dude.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would agree. I think they're doing a pretty good job with it. So it's not an easy situation to manage. I don't think it's a situation they should be in, period. I still feel that way. But the reality is they're juggling as best they can.
It is very cool. But if I was Bronny, yeah, I would have stayed in college. But, I get it. It's like LeBron's, only got like 1 or 2 years left. This might be his last season. I could see him hanging it up at the end of this year.
I know earlier it was reported 2 to 3 more years. We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see how. I mean, he's still like very clearly can play. So if he wants to keep going, he obviously can.
Yeah, it's just
Crazy.
does he want to keep playing? That's the thing.
Yes.
We shall see.
Yes. I can answer that right now. Yes.
Question for both of you. So talking about our guys on two-way contracts, who do you feel could make an impact for us right now during this stretch without Maxey? Of our 3 two-way guys, correct me if I'm wrong, Sean, Lester Quinones, Jeff Doughton, Justin Edwards, right?
Yep, you got it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Jeff Doughton would be my answer right now, just for guard depth.
Yeah, I'm on the same page, and to be honest, I expect to see him during this stretch. He's obviously a guy that Nick Nurse trusts and likes, and I do think that he'll get some opportunity. I've been satisfied with the version of Jeff Doughton we've seen on the floor. He's nothing special, but he's just a competent, good basketball player, makes the right decisions, can shoot a little bit, can dribble the ball, which is appealing on this team. So I do think we'll see Jeff Doughton. I do think he can make a positive impact. I also don't write off Lester Quinones, as he is a guy that has gotten hot for stretches. He is like a bucket getter and a guy that can talk some trash, muck it up a little, get in the mix, which I like about him. So I wouldn't mind seeing him a little bit, especially maybe give him a chance in blowout territory first off, but then could see him working his way into some potential minutes if the cards fall right.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, and to be honest, I didn't even know who he was when we signed him. I had to do research.
He played like some okay minutes with the actual Warriors before. Like he's got more. He's far. Obviously, Edwards is a rookie, but I would say both Quinones and Jeff Doughton are guys that have like more real NBA experience than you typically expect from a two-way guy.
That's true, and I mean the Sixers are they still dead last? They're at the bottom in 3-point percentage right now. If these guys can shoot, throw them out there because we could use anything right now.
Yep. Because you know who I'm going to go with Quinones for mine. Just for the shooting and just for the aggression that he brings and that spark. So I'm going to go with Quinones.
I like it.
Yeah,
I think there's no shot we see any of those guys tonight. Is Jeff Doughton even there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
He went on the trip? Okay.
Yeah. If it's blowout territory, is really the only chance, which you can't rule out, but
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get Kyle Lowry, Eric Gordon for 30 minutes. I'm already prepared for it. We see it every night. Last question here. I had it written down. I heard you guys X Factor tonight on the Lakers. Mine would be Rui Hachimura.
Okay. On the Lakers here, I thought about going D'Angelo Russell just because he's fresh off of benching, and I think I'm going to go right for the big fella Anthony Davis, though. If Anthony Davis plays the quality of basketball that he has shown to start this season, the Sixers will not win this game. I still question if that's sustainable for the whole season-long standpoint for Davis. I know he is battling the plantar fasciitis, which is a pretty painful injury that he's dealing with right now. It's way more one of those like injury management, pain management issues. So he's obviously available to play. So I'll throw things on Davis. I think if he has his best game, the Sixers have zero chance of winning this game. But if he doesn't do that, the door could be left open. So I'll throw my X factor, even though it's a little bit of a direct one here, right at Anthony Davis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine would be Rui Hachimura. He's actually played. I think he's missed the last 2. This is also coming from somebody that watches a lot of Lakers games. So I've watched Rui, and he's definitely. I'm not sure how I want to describe it. It seems like they're using him more in the offense than they ever did last year. How's that sound? He's getting more touches. Before it was more just, Rui, just go stand in the corner and get open to shoot. But they're actually like running sets for him now. And I think that's just, credit to JJ Redick and everything that he has drawn up.
Yeah.
So I would go with Rui. Mitch, what about you?
I'm going to go with Austin Reeves. I'm gonna go with Austin Reeves here. You know, you got a shooter. He's averaging 18 points a game. He's a good option to be next to LeBron, next to D'Lo and AD. I'm gonna go with Austin Reeves. I really like his game as of late.
The second D'Lo starts shooting the lights out again, man, Lakers fans are gonna love him. That's just what they're Lakers fans are just like Sixers fans. The second somebody plays really well, they're all, yes, he's so great. And then when you get, there's Sixers fans out there right now saying, let's waive Caleb Barton.
Not real ones. Not real Sixers fans.
Nah, that was my favorite signing.
Because he's shooting so poorly right now. Like,
I know what you mean.
That a guy plays bad, they're like, ship him off to China. That's what they say a lot about D'Lo.
Always those jokes. D'Lo, I feel that D'Lo is their version of KJ Martin in regards to a human trade chip. That I do think that he won't be there post deadline is kind of my expectations. I think D'Angelo Russell gets a worse reputation than he deserves. The dude's a very fine basketball player, very good.
I take him.
Yeah. I think that there's more hate on him than he deserves, and he'll probably benefit from getting out of the bright lights of Los Angeles for the second time in his career here. But I do think that ultimately, I expect when the roster crunches go down, that he's probably a guy getting sent out of there at the deadline.
Same rumors were going on last year, though, and then he shot the lights out. He shot like 43% or something crazy like that from 3 last year, and they didn't end up trading him. So, I mean, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. I'm a D'Lo guy. I think a lot of teams could use a player like D'Lo. I get it. He's streaky and that he's a bad.
We can too. That's a player for us as well.
Yeah, like I get it. He's a streaky shooter and that he's not great defensively. But I mean, I feel like every team could use a player like D'Lo that you just throw out there like a spark of energy. And when he's on, he's on. So, I mean, if the Lakers come February want to make a trade with us and give us like Jared Vanderbilt and D'Angelo Russell, count me in, man. I'll take it.
I doubt
it. I don't think it's going to happen, but
I doubt it.
I will take it.
All right.
Look up his contract.
I think that's
it's got to be like up there. I think he has like 2 more years left or something. 1 year or 2. He's got to be like around there. But Nick, you got another question?
No, those are all my questions, man. I feel like we need to address this since it's in the chat. Halftime, buddy. I love you, man, but I don't think there's a world where we can get Trae Young.
Just wait till tomorrow morning. I'm going to do one of those trade things. I'll figure out something for him.
Yeah.
I think I ran down it, Mitch. Fanspo is the one that I typically use. There's another one that's not bad. It's like an NBA trade machine or something like that. Fanspo's. But I will say for the Trae Young conversation, I don't think there's any way to financially do it without involving one of Maxey, Paul George, or Embiid. And obviously you're not doing that because I would say all 3 of those players are better than Trae Young in a vacuum right there. So I don't think it's happening. I like Trae Young, but I don't see where
I don't know about Paul George, but maybe Trae.
Oh yeah, Paul George definitely better. Definitely.
Offensively,
you can't argue that. You can't argue that.
I mean, defensively, there's like a 3-mile gap between.
There's like a gap defensively.
Defensively, no shit, but offensively, you think you'd still put Paul George above Trae Young?
I would say I think they're close offensively, and Paul George is a miles better defender. Paul George, a better overall basketball player for sure.
Okay, yeah. I guess I
can. Only thing I'll give Trae Young is his shooting from 3. That's the only thing I'll give him.
And he's a good playmaker, really good passer. Like I honestly think
that's
the best area of his game. Like he's averaging 10.7 assists per game this year. Awesome lob thrower. I like Trae Young. Like I do think he's another guy that I think gets a worse rep than he deserves. But I don't see a fit on the Sixers, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think he would really coexist with Maxey.
Yeah.
Very small backcourt. I don't think it would work. Score predictions for tonight, Mitch. What do we got? I think we lose by 20 or at least close, 18 to 20 points. My confidence level is not very high.
My score prediction, I'm going to get the Lakers 115 to 105. I'll go 10. 10
Okay.
points. I'll go 10.
Sean?
I'm more optimistic than you guys. I think this stays a game. I think this is one of those random scrappy Sixers performances where they just stay in it. It's going to be tough to beat the Lakers, and as I mentioned with the Anthony Davis, like if they play their best basketball, Sixers can't touch it. There's no doubt about that. I'm going to go final score. I'll go 117 to 109. So I'll go Lakers ended up by 8, but I think it stays a competitive game throughout.
Yeah, it's close. I got it close.
Coming from someone that watches a good number of Lakers games, it's about that time that D'Lo has one of these nights where he just goes berserk from 3, because he had one about 3 games ago. It seems to be a repeating pattern with D'Lo. He'll have an absolute stinker, then he'll go off and hit 6 out of 8 threes, and then he'll have 3 terrible games, and then here we are tonight. I think it's one of those nights where he's going to go crazy. I also think they really missed Rui the other night. I caught that game against the Grizzlies, and I mean, you don't have AD, but then you take Rui out as well. Hard to win a basketball game. Both of those guys are like, 2 of their key guys in their offense. And both of those guys are back tonight. So yeah, my confidence level is not high. It's rough right now, man. It's really rough.
Yeah, it is rough, especially everything we've been dealt with. Like, honestly, you gotta put the blame on Embiid for most of it, just because of not Embiid, like the organization as a whole, how they handled it in the beginning. So, like for me, he didn't handle it the right way.
Sean says this all the time, and I mean, you can take it as you will, but Sean, you always say the organization has failed Joel Embiid.
Oh yeah, 1000%. Yes.
Organization.
Yes. Sean?
Mm-hmm. I do, and my apologies. I'm having all sorts of
he's a little delayed,
but I'm back with you
guys. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I was looking down.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but no worries. As far as the Embiid stuff, I think even this current situation is an example of more the organization failing him than not. Like, tell me how much easier things are, how much cleaner this whole process would be if Daryl Morey doesn't step there, have a press conference in day one and say, yeah, Joel's knee is not 100%. He's working through some stuff right now. We're working to get him to 100%. He's going to be out there as soon as possible. All of a sudden, there's no league investigation. There's no all this criticism for Joel. Like, to me, it is that simple that you do things like that, and his image, the whole process looks a whole lot better for all this thing. And I do stand by that. So it's not an ideal situation. Like, obviously, he is a guy with degenerative knee issues. He's going to be battling this the rest of his career. But I do think that this is a guy who has lived through plenty, and the organization has failed him plenty in his tenure. I give him a lot of sympathy for sticking things out the way that he has.
No way he plays his whole career here. There's no way.
I would be shocked if he doesn't at this point. If he was going to leave, he would have done it already.
Yeah, but I mean, if he really, really wants to win, I don't think his best chance is here, man. I don't.
I mean, we have yet to see what the Sixers look like this year. Like, we as much as we are talking about how dreadful this is, when we're talking about a starting lineup of Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, Joel Embiid, and then we're bringing in the Caleb Martins, the Kelly Oubres, the Eric Gordons, like, that is a championship caliber team. That is a team that can contend with all of these. We just haven't seen it yet, and it all starts when Joel's here. So, like, as frustrating as it is, I do think it is, I guess, misdirected for Sixers fans to be ready to be thrown in the towel already. Right now, it's graded as an incomplete. This isn't a failure so far.
But how many games are we going to see them guys all play together? Are you worried about Maxey's hamstring injury at all?
I think it's the smart move to shut him down, make sure it's taken care of. The hamstrings can linger, so you want to make sure it's fine, but it's also can be something that he rests for 2 weeks and we never hear from another hamstring injury for him the rest of his career. So not ideal, but I think you take care of it just fine. Make sure he heals, rested up right now, and then we're good to go. You just got to make sure that is the case. You don't rush him back by any means, and I don't think they will.
I just got to see it, man. Like, how many games are we going to get of Maxey, Embiid, and Paul George? I don't know.
It's gonna be under 30. I'm going to like 20 to 25.
I think a little bit more than that. I would go a little higher than that. I'm thinking like in that 35 to 40 range would be kind of where I would guess.
There's a part of me that feels like we might only see Embiid for 20 to 22 games this regular season.
More than that. More than that.
I hope so, man.
Well, for Embiid is the guy that wants to be out there. Do you remember when they set him down during the minutes restriction? He threw a chair. Like, he would do whatever it takes to get on that court. I can't see him, like, I'll go in the 30 range. I'll go, low 30s for me.
Yeah, I know he wants to play. Everyone knows he wants to play. But will they clear him to play? Will they let him play?
Again, that's how bad the medical staff is.
Well,
the medical staff has been terrible throughout this whole thing.
And like the goal is 100% to be ready and healthy for the playoffs. That's 7 months from now. Like him playing now, the only like realistic outlook is it harms your chances of that happening. So this is the first time in his career that they've approached this season with that approach of like what happens right now truly doesn't have an impact on the playoffs. It only can be negatively. So I kind of respect that they're taking a different outlook with it. They can clean it up and approach it better to like publicly, but I don't disagree with the mindset. To me, I have an issue with the how, not the what here.
Got to make the playoffs, man. That's all I'm going to say. Got to make the playoffs.
They will.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to see.
Yeah.
Willing to wait, willing to say. But yeah. So honestly, guys, who do you think your player of the game is tonight? Who do you think? I'm going to start with Nick here.
Or just overall?
Sixers. Go for it. I'll write them down.
And I will throw in, we got our starters that it will be Paul George, Caleb Martin, Andre Drummond, Kelly Oubre, and Kyle Lowry is the starting five for the Sixers tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, they announced that Kyle Lowry was starting last night, I think.
So back up, and then if one of them gets in foul trouble, it'll be out.
D'Lo off the bench?
D'Lo off the bench for the Lakers.
Really? Who they starting? Cam Reddish?
Yep.
He has played well. Cam Reddish has actually looked good.
Yeah, I don't hate him.
No.
I am surprised to
Scrappy
see that,
defender.
I'm really shocked to see that. Wow.
Is it like a punishment for I saw the clip, but it didn't look as big of a deal to me as JJ made it out to be. Maybe I don't know. Did you think he overreacted a little bit?
I think this is JJ setting the tone more than anything. I think he's using D'Lo as a bit of an example more than it being like a specific D'Lo thing. But I think Redick wants to be that like intimidating coach, that people are afraid are going to get benched, that type of thing. So I think that he's pulling out the this is an opportunity to do that pretty early on in his tenure as a set the tone thing.
D'Lo's not out, right? He is playing. Like he's playing.
Active. Yep. Yeah. Just off the bench.
Yep.
Okay.
For
the Sixers,
I think he could win 6-man. He could win 6-man a year. I really believe that. Didn't he? He didn't win that once, but he can.
He's been mostly a starter, I think, his whole career. Maybe. I
wouldn't mind him as a 6-man though. I wouldn't.
Maybe like his first couple of years when he was with the Lakers, he may have came off the bench, but like he started in Minnesota, Golden State, Brooklyn. Yeah. So no, I don't think he's won that award, Mitch. As for the Sixers tonight, though,
yeah, who's the player of the game? My notes pad is not working.
I think Kelly Oubre. I think Kelly Oubre knows what's at stake. Obviously, knows what our record is, and he's gonna leave it all out there and try to get us a win tonight. Do I think he's gonna achieve? Absolutely not. But I hope the Sixers. And I'm a Lakers fan too, but the Lakers don't need a win right now. The Sixers need a win right now because 2-6 sounds a whole lot better than 1-7.
Yeah. I'm going Caleb Martin as my player of the game here. I think we see our first version of the guy we thought we signed. I think we see a little bit of a turnaround tonight. So he bangs home 2 threes, plays some good basketball elsewhere, and all of a sudden we're feeling pretty good. I'll go Caleb Martin as my player of the game.
I like that. Mitch? So I'm typing this real quick. I think it's pretty easy for me. You guys are giving me. I don't know if it's actual layup, but I'm gonna go with Paul George here. This is his time as the number one option to show everyone that he could still, play the game. He was coming off an All-Star this year. he's going to go up against LeBron, but I really think he can drop a good like 20, 22. So I'm going to go with Paul George.
I like it.
Yeah. And then breakout player of the game. We're going to start with Sean on this one. Breakout player.
Jared McCain, man. This has got to be McCain season. That I seriously, I think it would be a miscalculation on Nick Nurse's part if we don't see 20+ minutes of McCain tonight. That's where like the line is for me. What do you got to lose? This is at least a guy who is constant motion, can dribble, pass, and shoot, makes things happen offensively. Try something. I want to go down swinging with Jared McCain if that is the case.
Do you think Ricky sees more time tonight? Because, we get like the 3 to 5 minutes of Ricky every night.
I don't know. My short answer on like the Ricky Council stuff is I think KJ Martin's the guy that he's primarily competing for minutes with. And I think KJ Martin's been very good so far is really what I think kind of the takeaway is. I still would like to see Ricky more than we have, but I don't know. I'm less optimistic that this is the extended version of Ricky Council. It'll happen at some point when, throughout the length of the season, but I do think Nurse is not as much of a Ricky guy as we probably hope he was.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
He's definitely not. I've already accepted that.
Nick, who's your breakout player?
I think this is the first game that Reggie Jackson gets a real shot, logs 12 to 15 minutes, and hits some buckets for us and makes an impact. We're not going to get the 3 minutes of Reggie Jackson. He's actually going to get a legitimate shot tonight. We're going to get our first real look at him besides that stretch against the New Zealand Breakers.
Right. And then for me, I'm going with the same player that I've gone with every pregame so far. I'm going to go with Yabusele again.
Nice.
Because I really feel like off the bench, he's just really becoming that spark. He's shooting 39% from three. Thank you, Nick, for that. But yeah, man, I'm going to go with Yabu here. And he wants to dunk on LeBron again. I really feel like he wants to do that. If he does that, like, he got to get the starting job if he dunks on LeBron again. He's got to. So.
I hated that the other night. Kate Scott, yabba dabba doo, when he makes the three. That was so cringy, man.
Yeah, that was fun. I thought that was funny. But
enough of the nicknames and like you'll never top Bang Bang Niang. Like it's time to just give it a rest.
I can't stand that because that guy smoked me in the DMs. I can't stand that.
Niang?
Yeah, because Dives tweeted out a picture of like someone who was soft. I forget who it was. And I quote tweeted that and I put a picture of Georges Niang. He DM'd me. He's like, "What do you want?" I'm right here. I'm like, "Okay, this Friday. Come on this Friday." And then he smoked me after that. So I'm like, "What the heck?"
Wow.
I'm like, yeah. That's why I can't stay in Niang.
What do you want? You want Cleveland to start losing games. That's what you want right now.
No, this was back. What was it?
No, I know.
Was it last year?
When he was still on the team, right?
Yeah. All right, now we're gonna go with defensive players. For me, I'm gonna go with Andre Drummond here because I feel like with the rebounds and hopefully he can get a couple blocks there. So I'm gonna go with Drummond. Sean, how about you?
I'll stick with Caleb Martin here. That I think that they got to have one of these perimeter guys show some sort of impact as far as guarding LeBron and just being disruptive. So I'm looking at Martin to be that guy to step up. I think he'll at least put up a fight. This is all searching for some of it, so this isn't like feeling great. But I do think that that's the guy that needs to step up in this kind of matchup.
Yeah. And halftime goes Larry. Okay, you're using voice, so it's not Lowry, it's Larry.
He's definitely doing voice to text. It's all right, halftime. It's all good, buddy.
All right, Nick, who you got?
If AD's hitting the outside shot, I think he's going to give Drummond a lot of trouble. So right. I won't go with Drummond. I'm not a KJ Martin guy overall, but he actually looked pretty good the other night against the Clippers. That was the first game in a while where I was like, all right, KJ Martin, like you're actually doing something. You're making me open my eyes. Like I'm gonna go with KJ Martin. I think we see another good KJ Martin game tonight. I hope anyway. I would really like to see another good KJ Martin game because he's shown flashes defensively at times, but the other night against the Clippers, He was doing it on both ends, offensively and defensively. And usually with KJ Martin, we only see him, really make an impact on like one side of the floor. But he was doing it. What do you have? 10 points?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Which, I mean, we'll take that off the bench.
Yeah. I was honestly thinking of changing mine from Drummond to Oubre. I'm thinking about it, but it's what Nick said about Anthony Davis being outside from 3 could give Drummond some
Not
trouble.
even just 3. AD likes that elbow shot. That's like his,
Yeah.
That's like his bread and butter. That little pick and roll him and D'Lo have going on. Even LeBron at times too. Like that's like AD's spot. Like Embiid is more like the free throw, but like AD is like over to the side a little closer to the elbow. That's like his shot, which I've noticed. They've gone to that a lot this year. I mean, when he's hitting it, why not? I think he's been the MVP this year.
You know what? That is a good question. Who do you guys think is MVP for this year? You're going to go with Drummond, Nick? I mean, not Drummond, Davis. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Drummond. Turning back the clock, baby.
Hey, that Drummond was underrated.
Yeah, AD. I think AD's been the MVP.
Yeah, he's been right up there. I'll throw a little love to Luka Doncic. That I do think Luka, this might be the year that he gets over, but that's more of kind of a prediction than how he's played so far. I think it's fair to say Davis is the front runner right now. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I think, also has a great chance of getting over the hump this year. I would put those two as my most likely. Throw Ant Edwards in the mix a little bit, but as of now, at this very moment, I can agree with Nick that Anthony Davis is probably the guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Shai here. I'm gonna go with Shai or Donovan Mitchell. One of those two, because with the Cavs going 9-0, you know what? Screw it. I'm going with Donovan Mitchell. I had Shai a couple days ago. I'm going with Donovan Mitchell today, because the Cavs are 9-0, and him and Garland are the best backcourt in my opinion right now.
Yeah, they've been awesome to start.
I don't know who else is there. You got Luka, Kyrie. You got people are telling me Derek White and Drew Holiday. It's gotta be Garland and Mitchell.
Darius Garland's looked good.
Yeah. It's actually amazing how they kept everybody. Because they would keep on trying to get rid of one guy, but yeah, they kept them both. They kept everybody. So yeah, Cavs are something I can't wait for next Wednesday.
George Niang, what are his odds right now on DraftKings for Sixth Man of the Year, Sean?
Can't imagine very great. I'll say that. But yeah. Shout out to Niang.
Yeah. Sorry, Mitch. I'll always be a Niang guy. Bang bang.
No,
forever.
I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be salty for a while. But yeah. So guys, there goes Sixers pregame. I thought this was gonna be an hour long, but actually, wait, Nick, didn't you have another question you want to throw up? You told me you had another thing.
Not another question, but I'll just make another.
I thought it was a question. Go for it.
You're good. Not another question, but I'll just note the Lakers, lucky for us, are not a great 3-point shooting team either.
Right.
It's not like we're going against the Knicks or like the Celtics or even the Cavs. They just got, they throw 5 shooters out there and they're just going to kill us from the 3. So I guess that's a little bit of a reason to be optimistic tonight. But I still, my confidence level still is not high. The Lakers also, I'm pretty sure they went 1-4 on their road trip back at home, in front of their home crowd, and I'm almost positive they're undefeated at home to start the year. So I would be shocked if their first loss at home is against the 1-6 Philadelphia 76ers. But we'll see, man.
All right. So yep, that's gonna conclude the pregame show. Sean, where can they find you, bro?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Sean_Bernard1. You can check out Pick Swap Media as well as Sixers and Phillies Digest on YouTube. Also can check me out on Fox Sports The Gambler. Hear me on those airwaves. Just recorded tonight with Mark Henry Jr., but we'll be on from 11 to 1, so replaying that, or 11 to 12:30 until Villanova takes over the airwaves from us for their football game tomorrow. And then you can read my stuff on DraftKings Network, so DKNetwork.com. Talking a bunch of basically everything there, NBA, NFL, everything. So that's pretty much it for me.
All right, Nick.
Twitter, man. At Nick Curcio 76. Keep checking out all the content on Pick Swap Media. I do mostly editing, so you don't see me on here very much at all. But Ryan Coyle doing a great job as always with the Beef Up Front show, Flying in Style. New episode just ripped out today.
Yep.
So keep tuning into all the content on Pick Swap Media, and everybody in the chat, man. Keep tuning in with my guy Mitch. He puts the work in. He's always streaming. I'll be at work and I'll get notifications at 3:00 in the afternoon that Mitch is on there talking about the Sixers. Always putting the work in. So yeah, keep tapping in with my guy Mitch, man.
Appreciate that. And you guys can find me on Twitter at Mitch Toxie, my main channel, my second channel, MK Meets World, Hardcore Sports Network, and Stream Punk Entertainment. So with further ado, guys, we'll catch you all later. It is game time. God, I hate this new update from StreamYard. You got to change it. But yeah, we'll catch you guys later. Everyone have a good rest of your night and pray that the Sixers win. Other than that, peace.